What is going on? This is Edward, and today in the Boxing Weekly Recap, Jesus Christ, there's so much to talk about. We got Sugar Shane Mosley with an alleged domestic violence, Canelo Alvarez and Chavez, Floyd Mayweather getting at Conor McGregor, Dana White getting at Mayweather, Zab Judah's back, Oscar De La Hoya's team is in a little bit of deep waters because of racial slurs. We got the Lara fight, we got the Gervonta Davis fight, we got the James DeGale versus Badu Jack fight. Yeah, let's just get into it. First of all, I want to start this off with the Forbes top paid boxers, and for the first time in a long time, it's not going to Mayweather because obviously Mayweather has not boxed in the year of 2016. So the number one person as the number one earner in boxing is Canelo Alvarez. And that should come as no surprise to anybody because now with Mayweather's absence, Canelo Alvarez seems to be the guy where the money is at. It doesn't even seem to be Manny Pacquiao anymore. I feel like Canelo could easily do better pay-per-view numbers than Manny Pacquiao can do. And with that being said, Canelo versus Chavez is a done deal, baby. Yeah, I see the excitement. I can feel it. I got the excitement in me too. Now the fight is going to be held at 164.5, so if they extend past 164.5, they'll be over the limit. That's the weight that was agreed upon, so I don't want to hear a damn thing from you, Canelo, come September. If you beat Chavez, then this September, you have to fight Gennady Golovkin because your only argument was the weight. That was the only argument. If you're fighting at 164.5, you can definitely fight at 160. Anyway, this is being called the biggest fight in Mexican boxing history. Now, I may not go as far as saying that this is the biggest fight in Mexican boxing history, but I would say that it is definitely up there as one of the biggest fights between two Mexican stars. One being a superstar and the other being a megastar. Canelo's a megastar and Chavez is a superstar. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna go ahead and do a prediction for that fight as the fight comes closer. But for right now, I'm just gonna leave it as is. This is a really, really good fight. And don't be surprised if this fight breaks 1 million pay-per-view buys and catapults Canelo further into the stratosphere of superstardom when it comes to the boxing world. Quick caveat on Sugar Shane Mosley, he was accused of domestic violence with his now girlfriend. This is pretty interesting. He was accused of this and he's denying the allegations, of course. He's saying that it's being blown out of proportion. I will reserve judgment. Let's get a little bit more information on that, but just keep in mind, there has been an allegation of domestic abuse by Sugar Shane Mosley's girlfriend. And Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez is going to be in the undercard for Gennady Golovkin versus Danny Jacobs. It appears that they're trying to always do that double whammy with the big drama show and little drama show, and they keep putting them together. It's cute. And speaking of the Danny Jacobs versus Gennady Golovkin, in the press conference that just passed this week, it was revealed that Danny Jacobs and Gennady Golovkin do not have a rematch clause. This is really, really risky for Gennady Golovkin. And the reason I say this is because Gennady Golovkin is looking for that big mega fight with Canelo Alvarez. If he somehow loses this fight, he doesn't have a lock-in agreement to rematch Jacobs to overcome that loss so that he can move towards Canelo. So he seems pretty confident going into this fight. Let's see what happens. Since 2013, Zab Judah has not fought. He's actually coming back on a online only streaming pay-per-view kind of a thing, and that's how he's gonna return. According to his own words, he's just trying to put a stamp on his career, and he feels that coming back to do this computer online streaming pay-per-view boxing event extravaganza thing is his way to put that stamp on his career. I mean, I thought he was long gone, but what's he doing coming back? Not really interesting. I guess it's kind of intriguing. It's Zab Judah. Everybody, knows and loves Zab Judah, so yeah. Let's see what he can do. And of course, the ESPN talk with Mayweather talking about Conor McGregor. He's saying he's gonna offer him $15 million, putting up the argument that Conor McGregor never even made $10 million, so he should be happy with $15 million. Mayweather wants $100 million, and then they can go ahead and split the purse. Then Conor McGregor says, no, I want $100 million, and Dana White is now throwing his hand in the pot, and he's like, hey, you know what, here's a real offer. I'll give you $25 million to you, $25 million to Conor McGregor, and then we can talk about this pay-per-view splits. Mayweather got wind of him saying that, and he called him a comedian for even thinking to give him $25 million and make it even. This is messy as hell, and right now I kind of just want them to just either shut up or start that fight process, because this whole thing with them talking and the money and the this and the that and it's gonna drag on. They're gonna turn this into a 4-year Manny Pacquiao Mayweather kind of back and forth thing. Man, come on. It's an MMA fighter versus a boxer. In boxing, the boxer wins. In MMA, the MMA fighter wins. That's it. That's what it is. Mayweather also mentioned Andre Ward and Virgil Hunter, and he stated that Virgil Hunter is a horrible trainer and that he shouldn't have been training Andre Ward. And he also said something interesting. He said that he feels that Andre Ward lost that fight. He said, I call a spade, and to me, Andre Ward lost that fight, which is a fair assessment. I mean, it was a close fight. He can make that assessment. I personally don't believe that Andre Ward lost that fight. I scored it for Andre Ward. I guess he scored it for Kovalev. I don't know what he has, an agenda against Andre Ward or not, but he seemed very aggressive to Andre Ward and his team. Andre Ward wrote back on his Instagram saying, hey, you know, Mayweather, don't do this, don't stick to that level, this is what they did to you, and don't be part of that game, you know. And I think maybe Andre Ward feels that Mayweather is just throwing jabs at him for publicity or something. I don't know, but you know, it was kind of weird. I didn't expect him to come out of nowhere and say that, but Mayweather's polarizing in that way. He'll say something that'll catch you by surprise, and it makes you interested in what he has to say. He'll always keep you guessing, and I don't know if it's just a publicity strategy that he's doing by doing that, but hey, to each his own. He can easily think that he lost the fight. Not saying that he shouldn't think that, just saying that it was weird that he came out that aggressive on Andre Ward and of course Virgil Hunter as well. And some information came to light that Al Haymon is trying to bring out these emails, these 15 set of emails between Oscar De La Hoya's PR director and a journalist, and where they were using racial slurs, calling Al Haymon Black Hitler and also the N-word. So it looks pretty damaging, and De La Hoya is trying to suppress those emails from coming out because he feels that will sway the jurors because they're going to look at it with an emotional view instead of looking at the facts or whatever it is. But I mean, I honestly, I feel like if that's part of the whole system of what they're doing with trying to taint Al Haymon or trying to bring down his management / promoter kind of a thing, I don't know if it's just a plot by Al Haymon to put him in a bad light, but let's see what happens. Doesn't look good for Golden Boy Promotions. But right now with this Canelo versus Chavez fight, they're in a good financial setting to make a lot of money. So let's see what happens. Now let's finally get into these fights. Lara versus Yuri Foreman. That was went exactly how I thought it was gonna go. Yuri Foreman was gonna do his circling, and Lara was gonna do his his technical defense with his wide stance, and he was gonna pick at him and throw the right and pick at him and throw the right. He caught him with an uppercut, knocked him down, won the fight. It was an okay fight. It wasn't crazy. It went exactly how I expected it to go, and Lara won. But the problem is that nobody ever wants to fight Lara. So every time he does these things, it's like he did it and no one even paid attention. It's sad because he's a good fighter, but I mean, that's it. He fought Canelo and he didn't get the decision. If you think he won or not, he didn't get the decision, and that was the way of saying, there you go, Lara, get out of the way. We never want to deal with you again. We fought you, so we don't have to talk about you. That's the unfortunate truth. He's probably never going to get a fight with Canelo ever again. Maybe Gennady Golovkin, but definitely not Canelo. And the Gervonta Davis versus Jose Pedraza fight was insane. It was so good, and I'm so happy for Gervonta Davis because it seems almost like the money team roster was cursed. They would get to a certain level, they'll almost make it. One memory that comes to mind is Mickey Bay winning the entire fight, starts taunting at the end, and then boom, gets rocked and gets stopped. And so I always, I always felt like what was going on with these money team fighters. They make it to a certain level. They overextend themselves? Are they all overextending themselves in the attempt to reach what Mayweather reached? And I think Mayweather had that same feeling too, because when they showed him after Gervonta Davis won, he was like crying and like shaking. It looked very, very out of character. But maybe he just had that sensation inside himself that he was like, finally, someone in my roster is on that pace, is on that trend to have the potential to do what I've done. And Gervonta Davis is literally right there doing what Mayweather has done, winning the title in almost the same age that Mayweather won the title. He is now the youngest world title holder, and it wasn't even like almost a close fight. He was kind of getting hit in the beginning, but then he took over. He was seeing the punches coming, he was moving out of the way, he was clocking Jose super hard, and then he hit him with that right hook that dropped him, ended it, and it was such a beautiful performance. Big ups to Gervonta Davis, and that fight was a really, really good fight. And now let's move on to the James DeGale versus Badou Jack. What a fight. Is it too early to say fight of the year? I know we're just in January, but damn, that fight was good. It had all the attributes of a fight of the year. It had a knockdown on each side. It had an early knockdown. It had a late knockdown. It had drama in the 12th round. I mean, what more can you ask for? Mouthpieces flying off. Referee even got knocked down. Everybody, all three of them got knocked down. I mean, it was a pretty insane and intense fight. In the beginning, I had James DeGale up, but then Badou Jack started to take control. All this mouthpiece dropping and getting rocked. DeGale even lost a tooth. It was pretty crazy, and I think the wrong decision was made to make it a draw. I think Badou Jack should have taken that win. I think he edged it out, and then he sealed it. When he did that knockdown, he actually sealed it, to me, in my personal opinion, when he knocked down James DeGale. Plus, he was putting on the pressure. I thought it was almost gonna end, but that referee, man, has a knack for, you can tell he's a fighting fan. You can tell he's a boxing fan. So he has a knack for letting people come out of trouble. He lets them get into deep waters a little bit, and then he gives them an opportunity to get out. I guess he just, he loves to see a good fight, and you can't blame him. It was a good fight. He let it go. It's fine. That's good. But he was getting hit a lot in that 12th round, and I think Badou Jack should have gotten the stoppage win in that 12th round during that time frame, during when he had him up against the ropes. But it was a good fight. Do I believe it was a draw? No, but what can you do? There's nothing you can do. It looks like he's not even fond of a rematch either, because it doesn't seem like he can make the weight. It's very difficult for him to make the weight. He wanted to move up. He had plans to move up. He doesn't want to have to make the weight again. And let's see what happens in the future. If he doesn't fight him again, I wouldn't miss it. It was a draw. That's all nice, but I honestly feel like he really won the fight. A really good fight, but he really won it. So don't need to see that again, in my personal opinion. So that is it for today's Boxing Weekly recap. Of course, stay tuned for Friday for the weekly segments, and then of course Monday for the Boxing Weekly recap. Once again, every single week, twice a week, Boxing Fanatico. If you think Badou Jack won the fight, go ahead in the comment section, let me know what you think. If you think that James DeGale won that fight, go ahead and go into the comment section and let me know what you think. And of course, if you have some time, just hit the subscribe button here or watch one of my previous videos, whichever one comes first, because you're gonna do both, right? You're gonna hook me up. You're gonna hook a brother up, right? You're gonna subscribe and you're gonna watch some videos from the past, of course. It's a no-brainer. What am I saying? What are we saying? What's happening right now? You know what I'm saying? This is Edward from Boxing Fanatico. I'll see you on Friday. Peace out.